related issues. Democrats say they don't want to give a blank check to Donald Trump and Elon Musk to keep slashing the federal government. And they don't want to pass a spending bill they fear the president will simply ignore. But the Republican-controlled House has already passed the GOP's spending plan and left town, leading to this shutdown standoff today in the Senate. This morning, with a government shutdown looming this weekend, President Trump facing a major battle on Capitol Hill. Senate Democrats saying yesterday they will not back a government funding bill written by Republicans and passed in the House on Tuesday.
Our caucus is unified,
pushing instead for both parties to pass a short extension and keep working.
That will keep the government open and give Congress time to negotiate bipartisan legislation that can pass.
President Trump has advocated for the Republican bill, which boosts defense spending while making other cuts.
We are going to continue to work hard. We will continue to stick together and get this job done.
Both sides have until Friday night to reach a deal. The new defiance from Democrats marking one of their most high-profile showdowns yet with Trump. Coming amid deep distress within the party over the massive cuts his administration and top ally Elon Musk have made in their efforts to reshape the government. The latest big change coming overnight to America's climate and energy policy.
Today, I'm pleased to make the largest deregulatory announcement in U.S. history.
The head of the Environmental Protection Agency, Lee Zeldin, announcing that the agency will re-examine many of its core rules, which he called suffocating.
Today, the Green New Scam ends.
Possibly affecting everything from electric vehicles to air quality standards to water pollution rules and climate change policy. And it comes as the fallout continues at the Department of Education, which faced massive cuts this week, including losing 6 regional offices, half the Office of Civil Rights, and 300 jobs in the Federal Student Aid Office, which handles student loans and grants, union officials say. The president saying he wants to move education to the states and making this claim without evidence about federal workers.
I feel very badly, but many of them don't work at all. Many of them never showed up to work.
Anthony Badiel Luna, a Navy veteran and Department of Ed probationary employee fired in February after just a month on the job, responding.
It's pretty disgusting how, they're talking about federal workers when obviously it's not the case.
It will take some time to sort out all of the impacts of the gutting of the Department of Education. President Trump says he wants to abolish the agency entirely, send all of its functions back to the states, but that would take an act of Congress and require a level of bipartisan agreement that remains well out of his reach for now. Craig?
Garrett Hake from the White House Force. Garrett, thank you.
There are new developments this morning in the push for a ceasefire in Ukraine. A team of U.S. officials gearing up for talks in Moscow after Ukraine agreed to a 30-day pause in the war. But overnight, Russia's President Vladimir Putin raising eyebrows, donning military fatigues, and doing a surprise visit with the troops. NBC's chief foreign correspondent Richard Engel joins us from Ukraine with what that might signal. Good morning to you, Richard.
Good morning, Savannah. Here in Ukraine, all eyes are on Vladimir Putin to see if he will accept this U.S. ceasefire proposal, which Ukraine says it is fully committed to.
President Putin doesn't look like a man ready for a truce, and he doesn't sound like one either. Dressed in fatigues, visiting his forces in the Russian province of Kursk. Putin said his main priority is to defeat the enemy in the shortest time possible. He says Russia may also need a security zone along its border. Russian troops have made rapid advances in Kursk, the only part of Russia partially occupied by Ukrainian forces, after President Trump cut off the flow of American intelligence to Ukraine. Kyiv depends on U.S. intelligence for targeting and defense. At the White House, President Trump says a team is heading to Moscow and expressed confidence that Russia will join the peace plan agreed to by Ukraine's President Zelensky.
I can do things financially that would be very bad for Russia. I don't want to do that because I want to get peace. I want to see peace.
But does Putin? Many Ukrainian officials have expressed skepticism Putin will accept an immediate truce while his forces are advancing, and believe he will likely seek preconditions and incentives. Ukrainian forces are still fighting as well, keeping up the pressure on Russia.
This soldier is scanning the sky for Russian drones. Even with all this talk of a ceasefire, soldiers out here say they're seeing no let-up in Russian attacks.
They say it's time to give peace a chance.
Are Ukrainian troops ready for a ceasefire?
Look, Yes, we are ready, says Andriy, a former cook whose wife and daughter are refugees abroad.
Everyone is waiting to see if Putin will also agree. What do you expect?
Russia's commitments are not worth the paper they are printed on, he said.
Russia announced this morning that it has recaptured the biggest town in Kursk. So while U.S. officials are pushing Putin to accept a truce, his troops are pushing ahead. Savannah?
All right, Richard Engel in Ukraine for us this morning. Thank you.
Back here, let's shift to college basketball now. The Montana State women